Def Flipper did have a song about gnomes. It's called Gnomagettin it. A Gnomagettin it. Are you getting it? Something like that, anyway. Hello. Hello. How's it going, folks? Ready to get started here in just a sec? Hello and welcome to Fridays at 5 here on twitch.tv/DDOstream and youtube.com/DungeonsandDragons/live. I'm DDO Community Manager Cordovan. Thanks for joining me. Ready for a long weekend. I have Monday off of work, unless you guys troll the forums, in which case I'm not going to be real happy with you. But we also have a big sort of negative 40-degree wind chill weekend coming up, so it's a great time to be inside the game in New England, playing DDO, not going outside. How you doing, Backlagor and Quinfer? I have not seen that commercial. I don't actually have cable. I have not had cable television for something like 10 years, 12 years. So I'm one of those cord cutters. I'm just online. It's that Netflix, PlayStations, and all the rest. No actual cable for me. Anyway, what am I doing today? I thought I'd just kind of take it easy. I thought I'd maybe go over some of the Lamannia release notes, and I thought I'd give you guys a look at the Gnome. These are available right now on Lamannia. Our public preview server is available with a preview of the Gnome. I think we'll be updating it probably as soon as the end of next week with the new Update 30 quest. But for now, we have the Gnome and the Deep Gnome. So why don't I start off here? I just kind of wanted to get you guys have a look-see on it. So why don't we take a look at the Gnome. The female gnome here. I'm just fake assigning points because I'm just getting us to the look. So the main thing that they get is +2 intelligence, -2 strength for the regular gnome. Class feat. There we go. Alright, here we go. So as you can see, we have a bit of a rounded face here. Nice gnome nose. There are a whole bunch of different kinds of noses available to look at, from the more traditional to the more gnomish. Gnomes themselves are shorter than halflings by a little bit. We have a bug right now on Lamannia where if you're TRing, you're too tall. But that'll be fixed for the next preview there. But the base gnomes are a little bit shorter than halflings. They do have, besides the traditional hairstyles, some kind of unique looks in that as well. Their own sort of eyebrows. And of course, their gnome eyes, which, you know, are a little bit larger and rounder than you might otherwise find. They have their own looks on lips, too, which is kind of cool. Besides some of the traditional ones, they've got one. Let's see if I can find it here. It's kind of an off-kilter one, offset one. Yeah, there we go. It's a little bit, like I said, offset. Kind of cool. They do have facial scars. They also do have like some, you can see here, like some earrings and other piercings that they can do. We have a bug right now on Lamannia as well with some of the dragon marks and how they display on the gnomes, but that'll be fixed shortly. Alright. Now let's, I'm going to back off and show you some of the male gnome here as well. So basically, they do get a +2 intelligence by default, -2 strength by default. And this is for the regular gnome, which will be free to VIP. Available in the DDO store for anyone else who'd be interested. Now they also have their own beards here as well. That one's traditional, but they do have like their own looks. And of course, you could change the hair color on them that as well. So let's pick a properly gnomish looking color. How about something like that? They have mustache. Pretty funny. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of them. Because, you know, gnomes and beards are important. Let me try to show you this one. So yeah, here, see, it's a little off center on the mouth there. Kind of a bit of a smirk. That guy's not happy. There we go. Kind of cool looking there. Let me check the chat, see what's going on. Hey, Lyrical, how's it going? Nice to see you here. It's no characters because I'm on an admin, and I haven't rolled up a plus Cordovan yet. Yeah, see, I didn't see the Super Bowl. I don't really watch football anyway, but I didn't see the Super Bowl this year. Didn't watch any of the ads or anything. It's not about money. I don't need cable television. I don't know. I guess the idea of like appointment TV just doesn't do it for me. I have MMOs, man. I've got Dungeons and Dragons Online and other video games to play. I don't have time for on-demand TV or not on-demand TV. Can I get a two-piece while you're there, Titan? Oh, some food, huh? That's true. Fun fact, there are over 7,000 different monsters in DDO, each with their own unique stats. Now, that's based on the stats, right? That doesn't mean 7,000 different monster types, but 7,000 monsters that are generated. Peter823 says, are the gnomes pudgy enough? Well, so the way we went with gnomes is actually based on their state and pen and paper. Particularly, I think if you look at the more modern editions here, like say 5th edition in particular, you're going to see that they're not like garden gnomes. It's just not how they look. I'm going to move on over to the iconic here and show you the deep gnome. Difference with the deep gnomes is they have both a +2 to intelligence and inherent +2 to wisdom. Yes, we have got our first +2 wisdom race in the game. They get a negative to strength and a negative to charisma. You know, they get +4, so they have a -4 to balance that out. And they have eyes. The reason for that, like sort of their sort of glowy eyes, as it were, is because they're from the Underdark. And that's how Sniverfliblin, or however you say them, Severneblin, Severfniblin, see in the dark. Nomadman confirmed. Yeah, I could roll up a Nomadman. Yep. So anyway, let me show you a little bit what they can do. By default, the path is an Earthen Illusionist. By default, they are Wizard, so you will get that one level of Wizard that you'll need to, you know, take out or whatever. Should that be important to you? And then the female is there as well. They also have the eyes. You'll also notice the gnome, the deep gnome, has a little bit more of a kind of a grayish tint to their skin, and again, that is lore based. Try to change the hair color here. Kind of hard to see the haircut. There you go, something like that. They do have different eyes, but all the eyes do have that kind of glowy thing on them. And again, that's lore based for the iconic. Looks like 16 different versions of the eyes. Also many different kinds of noses. And the lips like you would normally see. The hairstyles are basically the same. If this one's going to be a Cordovan, I want him with that guy. Because I think that's funny. Facial detail, you know, same as typical. They do have these sort of displays on their faces. And you can change their skin color some as well to kind of be whatever you feel would be best. They also have different tattoo marks. There's both a head tattoo and a face tattoo. You can take that off if you want to. And it's basically one cheek, both cheeks, what have you. I think they're kind of cool looking. Like that. Change the color on the tattoo as well. Yeah, it's pretty rad. Let's call him Gnomagettin. Enemy Food says, I hear I'm the awesome individual that may have invisible companions. Yeah, I'll probably do some of those today as well. Give some of those out. They do have a stone skin in Phantasmal Killer SLA. By default, this tree... I'm not going to, I don't think, go into the trees today. Unless you guys really want me to. But you could find that stuff, say, in the DDO wiki and all that sort of thing. I will say probably next Friday is going to be our live stream preview. So we can get into more of the crunchy stuff during that one there. But, let's see. Might as well do the thing that I know you guys are interested in. One of these isn't yet working. This one is actually going to be changed to something else in the next Lamannia build. So the male dance 1 is not final. It's going to be something way more awesome. But here's the dance 2 on him. Yeah, the head color is darker on the deep gnome, and that is by lore design. Yep. Let me real quick create a female deep gnome just to kind of show you what they're all about. Let's randomize. Yeah, they have their own kind of hair color or hairstyles as well. You can see the double ponytail is pretty cool. How about, yeah, that one? We'll make the hair color a little lighter. A little thinner eyebrows. Deeper eyes. There we go. Get rid of that facial detail. Give her some lip piercing. You could, like I said, do the skin color. They do have a face tattoo as well, but they're not showing up for the female gnome character creation for this first Lamannia preview. But that'll be changed here next time around. You guys can check this out as well this weekend if you'd like to. If you do want to play around with the gnomes, check out their enhancements and what have you. We would love to get that feedback. You can download the Lamannia client. You can find a link to that on the DDO forums. All right, so both of their the female gnome dances are accurate. I should get in the light here a little bit. Do I have the knowledge of all the best builds? Probably not. You know, the community is able to crowdsource in a way that they're always going to be better than me. I've got some ideas though. I've been playing a long time. There we go. The female gnome too. Alright, so I think that's about all we really need to show on Lamannia. Why don't I call up the release notes here and just take a little quick look-see as to what's going on. And yeah, the wiki does have that information. Now keep in mind this is Lamannia, so things can and probably will change at some point between they go there and live, so, you know, keep that in mind. Earthen Illusionist is correct. The iconic starts off as a wizard, so there is going to be at least one level of wizard there. Am I still giving away the invisible pet? Yeah, I'll be doing that a little bit later on today. Sure, I can do that. What is the admin life like? The admin life is awesome. You can't really play anything because it's kind of pointless, but you can do all sorts of fun stuff. That's true, Lyrical. Lyrical has a fun fact on Iconics. You do not need to take all those levels up to 15. You can actually just take like the first 12, the first 7, whatever you want to do to run with whatever group you happen to be in. So, do I ever do strange builds just for fun? Oh yeah, I'm definitely known for doing that. Alright, so the Lamannia release notes. We got the gnomes and the deep gnomes. Cannith crafting. You should be able to deconstruct your Cannith crafted loot with update 30. We're not going to have a completely revamped Cannith crafting system, unfortunately, however. Reason being is we need some more time to bake it. We're just still debating internally what we want it to be and how it should, say, compare to random loot and named loot and all the rest. And so we're just not ready. We're just not ready to release it yet. So Cannith crafting, the revamp's going to happen when it's ready, and it ain't ready yet. So it's not, unfortunately, coming in Update 30. But you will be able to deconstruct your new random gen items with Update 30. So that ultimately is an important factor that will be there. The Arcane Archer is going to have a new Tier 5 ability called Final Strike. It's basically an AoE strike. So the Arcane Archer is going to have an AoE attack. The Soul Eater cone shape has had its casting time reduced. I think that might actually be what Mary was talking about. Was it Mary, I think? About the delay. Was it last week or the week before? That may be what she's talking about. I'll link to the page. Yeah, I can put that in there. There you go. Artificer Arcano Technicians getting some adjustments. Rather than post the entirety of the tree, I just did the changes this time around. So the first core is going to give you 10 electric spell power, in addition to all the regular stuff. All this is in addition to the regular stuff. The fourth core, Lightning Bolt, is now an SLA. Lightning Bolt now passively grants +1 evocation DC. The fifth core of Critical Admixture will now grant +1 evocation DC. The sixth core grants +4 intelligence from +2, which is what it was before. Evocation Focus now has 3 ranks. There's a new Tier 5 enhancement called Arcane Mechanism, which is when you have a rune arm, you'll get 10, 15, or 20 electric spell power and 5, 10, 15 universal spell power. All those pet prerequisite, say that 5 times fast, has been removed from the Arcano Technician. Imbued Defenders will now grant you a passive +5 electric, +2 universal spell power, and Arcane Engine will do passive +5 electric and +2 universal spell power. I would say as well that Lightning Bolt has now been added as a spell for Artificers as well in your spell book. Epic Destinies, we fixed the same kind of lag issue that we had with the other 2 enhancements for Update 29. We found another one. So Exalted Angel's Excoriate ability is no longer going to be stacking on itself too many times, causing lag. So hopefully that'll be good with Update 30. We fixed an issue with Scion on Limbo. Spell damage proc, now only functioning on offensive spells, no longer functioning on, say, healing spells, that kind of thing. Looking at you, Titan. The proper potions of mnemonic enhancement will now appear in various loot tables. So you guys were right. We looked into it. And the right size mnemonics were not dropping. So they now will. The maximum possible bonus loot level to a chest has been lifted. There was a discussion on the forums just this past week or 2 weeks where there was sort of trying to confirm whether there was a cap based on character level. And there was, in fact. Once we got into the code, we did find one. So now we don't have one. We got rid of it. Sorry. Sorry about that. So that'll be coming in Update 30. We're bringing back the Magma Fiendling Creature Companion. The legendary Green Steel Vacuum benefit will no longer apply vulnerable to allies. That's a good thing. The spooky bonus type is being changed to festive. That way we can put it on non-spooky things. Blank end rewards should no longer be dropping. If they are, it's going to need to be fixed on a case-by-case basis. In this example, we found several questing areas, including Three Barrel Cove, that were dropping blank end rewards, so we got rid of that. And then finally, it took 10 years, but we have broccoli and we have bacon coming to the game. In taverns. You know, for a long time you guys have been saying we really need a high-level sort of spell point, hit point regeneration item in the taverns. And so when we were like, yeah, we should totally do that, especially now that we're level 30. What should we make it? Well, a choice seemed obvious, right? Bacon and broccoli. Broccoli juice, because spell points need to be an elixir. In Legendary Shroud, those empty treasure bags should no longer appear. Ghost of Orchard of the Macabre, Ghost of Perdition, the Wheat Brothers on Epic Elite will no longer have like 80 hit points. In the Subterranean, the Hound of Zoriat, the puppies are now less likely to turn around in unwanted situations. They were kind of having a deception problem. Like I said, Lightning Bolt's now an Artie spell. The user interface, here's a huge one. This just sort of surprised the you-know-what off of me a couple days ago when I read this in the change list. I was like, what? Really? When did this happen? This is happening? Oh my gosh! Party member voice volume can now be adjusted individually on a slider when in a party. So if you got someone who's too loud in your group, you can squeeze it down. If you got someone who's a little bit too quiet, you can move it on up. And it's basically a little slider bar that's going to be on every individual party member when you're in a party with them. Additionally, the scale and the opacity of floating names can now be adjusted with sliders in the Options UI setting panel. I guess I probably could have... Yeah, let me actually call up Lamannia real quick and see if I could show you that one. But that's really a reaction to a request that we had now that people are having particularly large monitors nowadays. 1920 by 1080 is no longer top dog. And as things have gotten super big, some of that text has gotten so small that people are just like having a hard time, reading some of it. So they were like, well, can we do a slider? And we were like, well, I think we can. And so thanks to actually some of the engineering team, both for DDO and I believe we even had some help on Lotro as well. This is going to be happening. So this will be in the options, and I believe it's in the UI settings. Here we go. See right at the top, floating text size. Can make it smaller. Can make it larger. By default, it's set to 1. I believe that's percentage. And then the opacity, you can make it less opaque. Like if you really don't want to see it at all, you can kind of get rid of it largely. Not entirely, but you can make it more opaque. And you can also sort of overline it. So there we go. Kind of a cool thing. Oh, actually, you know what? You guys didn't see that because I didn't have the DDO game client up. Here we go. Move that up. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay, so there's a slider right at the top here for the floating text size. Like I say, by default it's set the same as it always was, so you're not going to have to adjust it if you don't want to. But if you have a particularly large monitor, you can basically double the size of it. If you have a particularly smaller monitor, like maybe you're playing on a laptop or still one of those 800 by 600 folks, you can actually decrease the size of it as well. And then you can also adjust the opacity of it. So if you want it to be less viewable, you can do so. Like I said, we have both the DDO and Lotro engineering teams to work on that one. Alright, back to the release notes. We're just about done. Guild airship amenity icons, minor change there. Also, bags will no longer automatically gather if they're not in your backpack. So basically, if you destroyed a bag and had auto-gather on, and we're finding that things that you picked up in dungeons were auto-gathering into your destroyed bag, that's not going to happen anymore. Didn't happen a lot, but for those who were affected by it, it was no fun. And then finally, we took out as many of the Osmium processes as we could. So rather than sort of having them all there, they're on demand now. So they'll pop up if you need them, and they should go away if you don't. All right, let me head over to the chat. Another Ranger Pass, question mark? I don't know that we have any plans to work on the Ranger. I mean, I think they're in a pretty good place, but if you have some suggestions for us, let us know. Can we get new random loot to work in Cannith crafting again, or did they fix it? Yes, you should be able to deconstruct random loot in Cannith crafting with update 30. You will not be crafting new random loot in update 30, however. It'll still be the same system that we've always had. Can't do bar paladin, yeah, because of alignment. Are there any story difference if you choose lawful evil or something like that? No, not in the iconics. Typically we haven't gone that route, but because they all do come from the Underdark there. When will we be able to see the other iconic faces on our friends list? Who list? It should be by class rather than iconic. So that's by design, that its iconics don't show up that way because they're based on class, not race. But, yeah. Understood. Do you ever do rune arms over crossbows for Artificer? Being free to play, I am sadly unable to play it, despite the rune arm feature seeming cool. Yeah, as a matter of fact, if you have an Artificer, you typically have your rune arm in one hand and your repeater crossbow in the other, if you choose to go that route. And that's a great way to go. Broccoli, bacon, yes, yes, yes. Spooky to festive is type change only, or are my spooky augments going to be festive augments also? They will be festive augments. All spooky bonuses are going to be festive. I should mention as well that, yes, the time has come to get rid of those Night Revels ingredients. So with Update 30, those things are going to disappear like we said they were going to, and is like in their description. I don't think that made it into the Lamannia notes yet, but that's a thing. It's going to happen. Sorry. If I trained in use magic device, can I use rune arms on classes other than artificer? No, you do need to be an artificer to get the rune arm feat, and I believe that is applied at. Sorry, correct me, chat room. I'm thinking it's second level. Is that right? Second level? You noticed on the live servers yesterday that +5 thieves tools stopped stacking in your inventory. That's not true. I mean, that might be true for you, but that shouldn't be happening. They worked for me. Thanks for confirming, Lyrical. It is 2 levels for rune arm use. Sorry, Tyler G 2010. I don't know what your specific Lamannia issue might be with character copy. We got it working this afternoon, though, late this afternoon, so it should be working there. Are there any plans to add more illusion spells, Wizenman says. It's something we would love to do, but unfortunately not in time for Update 30. There are a couple of illusion spells in the spell-like abilities of the enhancement trees there, but in terms of adding a whole slew of new illusion spells, no. That's not something that is in our scope for Update 30 here. Okay, they dropped in a new stack when your other stack had 955. I think that's by design. I think they stack up to 1,000. So if you were trying to put 50 into a stack of 955, it'll split into its own stack rather than put 45 on its own. I think that's the way it typically goes. Alright, I think that's pretty much what we got here for the release notes, unless you guys have any questions on it. We're about a half hour into our live stream. I thought maybe I'd pop into the regular live server at this point. And do a few giveaways. I mean, I guess it would make sense in some ways that it go up to 1,000 and then just create a new stack of 45. But for whatever reason, it just doesn't really do that. I don't think it's ever really done that. So, not quite sure why that is. Some kind of weird code thing, but I couldn't tell you what. First, let me get my armor back on. I had fumbled my armor to make room for giveaways. Like this. Actually, that wasn't a giveaway, that's something else. Yeah, you know, it's something we are aware of, that there's a real desire to do that, and we do understand, you know, where you're coming from there. So you can just drop all your gear if you need to make instant room as an admin. It's kind of a useful feature. Let's see. Spicy asks, do I know if that will work? If you have the Artificer Dilettante from the Half-Elf, can you use rune arms? I believe the answer to that is no. And the reason for that is that the rune arm is granted through a feat, and you don't get the feat through the or the half-elf dilettante. So you would need the 2 levels of artificer to get the rune arm use feat, um, rather than from the half-elf dilettante. What world am I on? I am on Argonisson. I'm going to be popping to the other worlds here shortly. Yeah, but it is Seymour. Does the table in the test dojo give the hand wraps and docent from Legendary Tempest Spine? Because I never got mine. I believe that the NPC on Lamannia does still provide the update 29 items. Pretty sure. Alright, that's on Cannith. Can I talk about no shards in this build of Lamannia? I have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry, Shoemaker. Can I talk about no shards in this build of Lamannia? I have no idea what you mean. I'm sorry. Nope. Argo's done. Cannith is done. So do I know why it is that when I go to the character copy tool thing, it says I must be logged in to do that, even though it says I'm logged in at the top? My guess for that is that you are logging into the website. Well, so if you're logged into if you use a different login for the website than you do for your game client, you basically need to log into the website using the credentials for the game account that has the characters in it you want to copy. So if that's not the case for you, like if you're doing something else, that might explain it. Otherwise, I'm not sure. Could be your account's in a somewhat strange shape. So I guess Astral Shards aren't in the store on Lamannia, is that what you guys are telling me? News to me. But if so, we can take care of that. This is on Galanda. Show you Evening Star from afar.
One that will call upon heroes of the ages to strike it down.
Alright, that was Galanda. Ty Wasliv 10, what am I doing? I'm just dropping some Invisible Stalker Creature Companions to kind of kick off this Friday afternoon for folks. I have been giving them away on the forums, on Twitter this week, handed them out to some folks on the Players Council this week. Frankly, as I said on Wednesday's live stream, if you've got like say 50 or more creature companions in game, just PM me, and I'll get you one as soon as I have time. You know, it's not going to be an instant thing, right? Because I'm sort of putting together a list, and when I've got several dozen, I'm just popping in game on one of my admins and mailing them out. But if you do have, say, like 50, 60, 70 creature companions, and you're a big creature companion user in the game, just let me know, because I don't want you to go without. So we'll hook you up. And if you don't have that, but you just want one, then stay tuned on the live streams, on social media, you know, the forums. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of giveaways of this stuff in the coming weeks and that for the anniversary. So, you know, we'll make sure you have many opportunities to get hooked up with one if you want. You know, this isn't some super prize here. This is something I'm dropping by the metric ton just for fun. So. Dirty Dexter found me, huh? Yep, that was Galanda. I'm no longer there. I do the same thing I just did for Evening Star up in the marketplace here. And I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. If you really want one from the auction house, go ahead and do it. But you don't need to. Like I say, I'm giving these things away by the metric ton, so I really would not recommend that you do that. But ultimately, if that's really what you want to do, you know, it's up to you. Do whatever you want, but you will have plenty of opportunity to get these things. That was on Kyber. It's almost like I'm going alphabetically. Yep. Yeah, the teleport spell will give you that one. I just hit Kyber. Do I know if the Barbarian Occult Slayer Constitution modifier to spell resistance stacks with racial spell resistance? I believe the answer of that is no. That spell resistance highest only applies. So that would not make a difference regardless. You do hear hip chat. Sorry about that. Let me actually close that. Yeah. You want to see actually? Let me see if I can show you this. There's a really fun place in the harbor here that, as far as I know, no player is able to get to, but that I like to use for giveaways and such. And that is right up here. I don't know if anyone's able to actually has ever gotten up here outside of an admin panel, but it exists. See this little section up here? I've used it like when I need to teleport someone to me and I don't want anyone else to be able to interact with them. I can put them up here. It's kind of a useful little spot. Then why put it there? I don't know. It's a very good question. One that's because it's been that way since 2005. No idea where the origin of that is. Just one of those mysteries of life. But it's a useful little area. This is Orion. Challenge accepted? Yeah, I'd be curious. If you can do it, let me know. I don't think it's possible, but maybe it is. It's fine if you do, because there's nothing up there, but that was Orion. Let's see. So, Sarlona, then Thelanis, then Wayfinder. Can get there any time? Oh, really? You do it all the time, random rice, huh? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I didn't know that. That's interesting. And just during the ice games or just regular? That's cool. I didn't know that. Interesting. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just wasn't sure. I'm not aware how you could do that without using the fly ability. I pretty much thought you had to. But hey, if you can do it, great for you. There's no reason not to. Why would I need airship buffs on an admin tune? Exactly right. To test them. That's why. There is no reason. No reason at all. So yeah, that was Sarlona. With well, yeah, you're right. I could do it with Blink. I could show you guys that too. Yeah. Light gravity from the Winter Festival. Yeah, that'd do it. That'd do it. Very cool. Very cool. Yes, I have gone to Argo. I am now on to Thelanis. Then Wayfinder. Then I'm done. So tonight for me is my pen and paper night. One of the greatest nights of the year. We're doing a 5th edition campaign and just having a blast with it. Then when I get back at the house later tonight after the pen and paper night, I'm going to be on Thelanis here doing Demon Queen on probably Epic Elite, the static group I'm in. That'll be fun too. Well, that's cool. I didn't realize that it was that easy to get up there. Let's count me wrong then. It's cool. Anyway, it's a nice little spot.
A new tavern
Otherwise, like I say, people are kind of freaking out around here because of the weather. We're supposed to get more snow this weekend and potential wind chills of up to negative 40 degrees, which is like actual Minnesota weather for this Minnesota guy. Like, hey, that's actually a thing. Not like the usual wimpy weather that everyone freaks out about. So, but hey, great. All that means is a great weekend to hang inside and play some DDO. All right. Next up, Wayfinder. I think I'm going to be going to see the Italian Giallo horror film Suspiria at the Brattle Theater this Saturday night at midnight. They're doing a special showing of. They have a 35 millimeter print of it, and that's one of my favorite movies. It is really great music by Goblin, and like I say, they're doing a special 35 millimeter screening of it. And so I think we're going to be checking that out on Saturday night. That's by Dario Argento. For those film buffs out there, pretty cool. Virtual Gib says, idea for a stream series, a static group, and do every quest in the game going in order from the adventure compendium. That is a very cool idea. I like it. And this is Wayfinder. It is a great movie, Jaculetta. It's one of my favorites. Am I going to see Deadpool? No, not really. I mean, hey, that's great for people who dig it. I never really got into Deadpool. I mean, I'm sure it's probably okay. But, like I said, never really did much for me. So I was like, yeah, it's a comic book, breaking the fourth wall, that's cool. But I hear it's funny. I hear it's really good. People who are into it have been saying really positive things, so that's cool. But no, I'm going to be seeing Suspiria. I'm playing DDO and staying indoors. Sunday's going to be probably doing a little bit of housework and painting and DDO. That's my plan. So. All quests at level elite. Static group, that's what Seymour Agu's group's doing. That's very cool. Yep. Yep. Alright. Yeah, I'm actually a big Argento fan. I really like Phenomena as well. It's one of the strangest movies. You know, it's only so many movies where a runaway monkey can be considered to be the hero of the film, but that's one of them. All right, well, I think that's going to wrap it up here with Fridays at 5. I appreciate you guys joining me next week, next Friday at this time, or around this time, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that. We're going to be doing our Update 30 preview, so that's going to be with me. Probably Knockback and some of the other devs will join us as well. We'll be here for your Q&A and your questions on Update 30. We'll be previewing the new quest. We'll show you more about the Gnome. We'll dig into the enhancement trees. We'll look at loot and some other things, and it'll basically be one of our, get-together previews like what we've done for other things that you can see on youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons or twitch.tv/DDO stream. You can find all the archives of our shows there. We do appreciate you joining us as always. 8:30 tonight is Pikers Anonymous. 9 o'clock on Saturday night, the Bitsy and Matson Show. 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, maybe Shoe Cobbles, but I also hear Shoemaker, maybe you're not going to be able to make it this Sunday, so kind of stay tuned on that. And then 10 p.m. on Sunday night is Papagaio de TR, a new Brazilian-Portuguese show. If you are into that, that's very, very cool. Also, Minion Monday at 4 p.m. and the Strim stream at 7 p.m. I will be back on Tuesday. Hope you have a happy President's Day if you're in the United States. Hope you have a great Monday if you are not. Thanks for being here. We have a great bonus this weekend, plus 10 XP per party member other than yourself, so you can get a plus 50% bonus XP, which is awesome. Lamannia has our first preview of Update 30 in the Gnome, so if you'd like to check that out and give us feedback on the Lamannia forums, we'd really appreciate it. And we're celebrating 10 years of DDO on social media, so if you want to tune in for fun facts and concept art and some other goodies throughout every day of the week, you can do that as well. Thanks for being here. Have a great weekend.